How much you have to spend?
Well,
What do you want to do?
I got $20.
Want a blowjob?
Yeah.
You're not a cop, right?
Age?
21.
Height?
5'7.5".
Weight?
105.
Come on.
My name is Karen. I'm 24. I've had one prostitution case in the last 4 years and ended up in jail. That's how I met Harold. A girl came into the jail. She told me, well, my man will get you out of jail if you be with him, you know, go to work for him. I told her, fine. And he came down there and got me out. That's the way a lot of girls get out of jail down there, though.
Last name? First name? Date of birth?
All the guys around, they check the jailhouses a lot. You know, or somebody goes to jail, you know, and they'll say, well, is there anything else in there, you know, worth coming out, worth me putting my money up to get them out, you know? And they get, a lot of guys, that's where they get their women from, is the jail. It's getting late, and I don't want to stay up here very much longer. The first pimp I really ever had was drugs, really is what pimped me. I've spent up to $1,300 in one day, me and my, you know, the guy I was with, on drugs. What time do you think you'll be up here? Now, for the last 2 years, I haven't shot drugs, so all my money has went into cars and jewelry and taking care of my little girl, too. I'll be waiting.
Girls are not really that hard to get, really, because you always got something to tell them. This is one thing about any guy that hustles. He's got conversation. Put out enough conversation over and over. And then a lot of pimps are good actors. It takes a certain amount of acting also. So between your conversation, your charm, and your acting, you can pretty well have your way.
What's up?
Not too much.
Is any money?
Been pretty slow.
How much money you made so far?
Enough. Enough, I don't want to carry it on me, I want to get rid of it.
Oh. Look, you know, I don't want you to lay there and get jacked up here. I don't want a joker to lay there and take nothing, you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's enough for Mac. Lay there and get us some gas with anyway.
I give Harold my money because I don't have any credit where I could buy a car. Or he's gonna, you know, hire the best lawyer if I need one.
Oh, he's bad?
I really feel like I owe him because he saved me from going to the penitentiary. I feel like I would still be in the penitentiary right now if he hadn't have slowed me up. He would talk to me, you know, and he was a lot older, a lot more experienced than I was. And if I hadn't listened to him, I think I would be there right now. See you later.
Yeah.
I knew Harold a long time before I got with him. The first guy that I was with, he told me, you know, well, I know an easy way to make money. And, you know, I knew about girls. I said, well, if you want to talk to me about selling my body, you can forget it because I'm not going to do it. I was really headstrong, you know. And then after he talked to me, you know, and he explained to me all the nice things I could have, and I just decided, yeah, well, maybe.
Different girls are actually, in a sense, qualified to make different money. Some girls are motivated through threats. If you don't tell them that they've got to go make a certain amount of money, then they'll just run out there and any amount of money they make is all right. But then you got some girls that are just self-motivated. They have a thing within them as saying, I want my man to have this. I want him to have that. I know the more money that I can get for him, the more he can have, or the more we can have. They meet your needs as far as money. You try to match their needs and so forth as far as what they want. What do you look for? Solid color?
Yeah. It's ugly.
Some want a nice car. Some want a lot of pretty clothes. Their needs are no different than the average woman.
His best point is probably his personality. And I'm sure his worst point is his temper. He's gotten mad at me, but I've seen him a lot madder a lot of times, and I don't ever want him to get that mad at me. What do you like? Whatever you like, that's what I'm gonna wear here.
Oh, please.
Okay?
Don't make me grab my head, will you?
Come on.
Don't make me grab my head. Just snatch a medium off and take a medium. See the little room right over there?
That's not it.
How come that's not? Well, they got one down that wall somewhere.
I enjoy listening to him. He cracks a lot of jokes. If it's real dull and he comes around, everybody's gonna liven up.
Some girls, they require more time. Some of them just, I'd say if you're only around them once a week, it's fine. Then some, you know, you've got to be around them every day, you know, because, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of like, it's really basically kind of like raising children in a sense, you know. Some kids you got to spend a lot of time with, some you don't. Girls, same way. Some you got to spend a lot of time with, and some of them you don't. On the average, I've had some girls that made, just say, a pretty well constant $300-400 a day with no problem. Then I've had some that look like they just barely come up to $200 a day. Hot. Yes, it is. Too hot. A lot of them are used to being in a stable. So therefore, it's like a job to them.
A lot of women, they love to hustle. To whether or not they get to keep any money or not, they love to hustle. Well, pimps don't force the girls. How can they? A pimp can't watch a woman 24 hours a day. She's got to go to the bathroom. She's got to go eat sometime, you know. She's got to sleep. And he's not going to sleep with her every night. So, no, it's not forcing. They want to do it because they, you know, that's what they want to do. They love the man that they're with, and they want to make him happy. And the way to make him happy is money. Going to a man in this life, you already know what they're about. You already know that they're pimping, they've got other women. So you're going to them knowing that I'm here, you know. I mean, this is what he wants me to do. This is the way I came to him. He's a pimp. I've got to be a hoe. Well, I'm 20 years old. I'm 7 months pregnant, and I've been a prostitute for the last 3.5 years. My father raped me when I was about 16 years old, and it was a very traumatic experience. He told me he was doing it to teach me a lesson. Yeah, because I was messing with black men, and he said he was teaching me a lesson. And I couldn't see what the lesson was, what the point was, you know. I had left, I'd ran off. I said, oh, forget this, I'm gonna hide to where nobody can find me. And I did. My father, he wasn't gonna come looking for me again. He was too scared, because I was with the pimp. It's my longest relationship that I've ever had with anybody. This is his first mixed baby, and he's wanted this for years, in which he's got a lot of kids. And it's going to mean a lot to both of us, I know.
Push up.
Oh, God.
Push.
Oh. Just for that. Coping with the relationship between another woman with the same guy you're with is very hard to cope with. You really don't cope with it. You try to keep it out of your mind that, well, he's messing with this woman as well as me, you know. A lot of times the guys will lie to a girl and say, well, you're number one. I don't care about this other, you know, woman.
Oh, goodness.
And you want him to be telling the truth, so you kind of block that out of your mind and just make yourself believe this. This was so thin, they said it would be good, like, for the christening and all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're supposed to have something real dainty. Even though it might be a boy, they're supposed to still have something real dainty at the christening.
You Catholic?
No, Baptist. If I had a daughter and she wanted to work on the streets, I wouldn't like that. If she wanted to do all this, that would be considerably all right, but not on the streets. Preferably a studio or a call girl service or something like that. There's that girl you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you remember her?
Mm-hmm. I was telling her about a night with Cleo and Brenny.
Yeah. That's when I was somebody right there. Look at me. Just look at me. See, this was way before your time right here.
She looks familiar. Who is it?
Diane. Everybody should have remembered her.
Was she famous?
She was famous.
That's an ugly child there.
What do you mean it?
What? Hey, Ron.
I had a star back at that time.
That's a star.
Back at that time. She's washed up now, but you know.
She looks washed up.
Vet now. You know,
Let me see what you call a star. Yeah, look at that, what he calls a star.
She was a star back at that time.
Spare me, will you?
Star back at that time.
She looks kind of tired to me.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes
she probably was tired.
She got drove through it.
She probably was tired. I was pushing back at that time. I was greedy. I was greedy at that time. There's no way that a man could have 6, 7 women and be in love with all of them. Molly.
Molly.
Yeah. Don't you remember Dot? Regardless of what any man might tell you, he's going to always have one that is going to take top priority over the rest. But he can't afford to show it.
I seen her one time. She looks bad.
If he show it, he just might as well quit overnight. Because if it gets to the point to where the girls automatically feel like that you're in love with a particular girl and you show her a lot more favoritism than the rest of them, then they're going to quit. They're going to someone else. Alice looked like a 60-year-old woman on that picture.
She always has ever since I've known her. Even when she was a Lester.
She's a star, though.
Oh, no, that girl made money. You wouldn't believe how much money she's made.
Star. I hate to hold it
I
down
think you did her the worst out of the bunch.
Was she
I'm not going to say it's the worst life in the world. I wouldn't slap hamburgers anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah,
was down for many years.
She always made a lot of money. Even when she was at the South Dallas Club, she made a lot of money.
She left Lester because he wouldn't let her go make no money.
Yeah, he wouldn't let her. He wouldn't let her go make any money. I told her.
Because
say
they working
yes.
up in
I
them
told her.
clubs that he had.
She called the house there one night, and I
Well,
talked to her, and I told her she didn't have to put up with that. I bet you I won't stop her.
Sometimes I wonder, what do you get for all the money that you've given them? You know, a lot of times, you know, they'll buy you, you know, little outfits and jewelry and, you know, cars, which he did, you know, buy me a car, which, you know, I paid for it, but still, you know, it was the fact that he was putting forth effort.
Now, if I'd have been stuck with the fact of naming a girl, I would have been already through with it. Your boy, seeing you start figuring out a boy's name, you know, you want that name to just really stand out. You know, like my name stands
Harold stands out.
I hope for the future that we were to be married and live a happy life with more kids than this one. And just be alone by ourselves.
Lori thinks she's going to marry Harold. I don't. I think I'm going to marry him. I've been there the longest. No, I don't think Harold will ever remarry. I really don't.
Mama. Ice cream. The ice cream, Mama. But Mama. Let's go get some ice cream.
I just think about everybody that gets pregnant on the streets thinks it's their man. I don't know why they think that, you know, all the sex we have. I was going to have an abortion with her at first. And when I thought, you know, my mind got all geared up that it was Harold's, I wanted it. So I had it. She's not his, but she's mine. So far she's been around it, you know, she probably really doesn't understand what's going on, but I know she realizes that Harold has relationships with other women because she's seen them all, and she's kind of young to realize what it is.
Well, I wanted a child. I can't say that I really thought it was Harold's because I knew that there was a possibility that it wasn't. I hope he finishes school and goes to college and makes something out of himself.
Come on.
Having 5 or 6 women, one coming up with a kid and it being black, would automatically start confusions and complications. They would watch the attention and the care that I would give that particular child. If I made any difference,
You watch baseball?
if I made any difference in the kids, then it would be a problem. Because making a difference in the kids would be just like making a difference in the girls.
I'll go to Donna. My ball.
I don't have it.
My ball.
Oh, look at that, Susan. I don't want to have any more kids on the streets. And I protect myself with birth control pills. With taking them, I have to have a checkup, so that I automatically are going to check for any venereal disease or anything.
You want to play so we can finish getting ready to go? Oh, don't be jealous. I got to get ready to go.
I go, Mama.
My work schedule is 5 days out of the week. During the week, from about 3 till 12, and on weekends from 3 till 2. I carry a knife open in my car in case somebody tries to get me while I'm in my car, because it has happened before. You could be sitting in your car and somebody walk up to you and rob you. And I'm gonna put up a fight. I got carried off before I got my car and was able to work out of my car. When we had to get in the car with a guy, and he pulled a knife on me to my throat and carried me to an old house that was being torn down and kept me in there with him for an hour. I mean, he brought me back up there. But I have been took off way to Rockwall. You know, I was really scared that time because I didn't know what he was going to do with me. I could have jumped out of the car, but, you know, he gets on the freeway going 80 miles an hour, you know. But I have jumped out of cars before when they're on a residential street, you know, something like that, you know. You just got to suffer all the scrapes, but it's better than getting took off and getting killed or something like that. Some girls sit on their cars or sit in their cars up at the store parking lot. That way, if a regular comes through, you know, they'll know where to look for you at.
Wanna go?
Where we work, it's mostly wetbacks, and they don't speak English. And you got to get up there, and all the girls can speak Spanish now.
25. Sígueme. Sígueme por la Victor.
When you first talk to them, you used to ask them, are you ready? Most of the guys that come up there have been there before, and they know the ropes. And you ask them, are you ready to go? Follow me to my apartment. Usually the average is $25. A lot of guys, they will pay for you to throw the condom away, like give you extra 50. They want to give you more if they think they're going to get a better time. You know, they're not going to get rushed.
You know, I can't pretend that I like it, so I don't. I'm just straight with them, you know. I'm not here to enjoy myself, so. And then most of the time, you know, I feel like they're there for just that one purpose, you know. There's no love between us. And I feel like they should know that, you know.
You know, we're not in here to make love. You know, this is a wham bam, let's get up, let's go. Like, you know, a lot of them you have to explain it to them though, because they'll want to make love and, you know, like they're in bed with their wife or something, you know. Sometimes they want to see bisexual girls. They would pay to see two girls. Where we work at, the most common is just plain sex. A lot of them are really fast, though. You don't even have to stay in there 5 minutes. That's including getting undressed and dressing and the whole works, you know, 5 minutes. A lot of them are like that. I think in 5 years from now, I'll be in my own business. I'm going to go back to school and get my GED and learn a good trade. And I hope to be having my own business then, if Harold will help me.
I predict that I'll still be with Harold. Probably still, well, I don't know. You know, if age catches up with me fast, I might not be doing this, but, you know, as of now, you know, yeah, I'll probably still working on the streets.
On October 9th, at approximately 3:15 p.m., Alice Franklin was stabbed several times on the back that caused her death. She was stabbed by a Latin male of 28, and the argument was over a date of prostitution. She was dead at the scene.
He had a butcher knife. It was about 8 inches long, about 2 inches wide. And I think that's when he stabbed her in the chest at first, and the policeman told me it came out on the other side. And then she tried to run, and I think they said he stabbed her in the back while she was trying to get out the door. By the time she got the door open, she just fell out on the steps. He started in the bedroom on her. You know. The whole apartment was tore up. You know, it was a senseless thing, really, because it could have happened to anybody.
I hadn't just really completely decided yet, because Michael, Alice's little boy, I spoke with her auntie, and she left him, you know, kind of in my custody right now. But I know that I'm not going to be able to keep him myself, and I'm not In other words, as far as taking that responsibility of keeping them and raising them and saying for the next 15, 16 years, I don't want that responsibility myself. You know, that's kind of the way it is in this business. You know, one drop out or one leave, another one comes. You know, it's just kind of turnover.
Carol says that we'll probably get over it in a couple of days or a week or so. Take time for it to pass. But I don't know. That's something that doesn't leave people's mind real easy. Not mine, anyway. I'm not sure if I want to go on. I don't know, be a prostitute for maybe a year or two more.
There's a limited number of years you can work. I would love to say, yes, on 3 weeks from tomorrow, I've got plans to quit. I don't. I know some that have worked 10 years, and every year they're going to quit. I know a girl that just returned to work. She quit. Well, can I work a little part-time? And she was working part-time now. Well, my goodness, things are really expensive. Can I have a full-time, part-time schedule? And pretty soon they're back at work.
I went back to work when Jonathan was about 6 weeks old, and I didn't work but about 2 days when I found out what happened to Alice. It made me realize I've had too many close calls. I want to go back to waitressing. You know, if I can hustle men, I can hustle drinks.
There are girls that have been doing this for years and years and years, and they never get anywhere. And I think it's a matter of knowing what to do with yourself and your money. I think success is within yourself.
As soon as I get my bachelor's degree in nursing, I'm not going to go out looking for business and calling up madams and hustling. But if something comes along or my horse gets sick and I have a $2,000 vet bill, then I would not hesitate to do a little something on the side until I'm financially secure.
But then the old story is, once a hooker, always a hooker. It's in your blood.
Yeah, even when I was married, yeah, I couldn't
give it up.
I couldn't give it up completely.